Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? It is great to have you with me. The Minnesota Vikings, once again, are at 500. The good old Mendoza line. That's what the Vikings do. Just when they thought I was out, they pull us back in. Starting out 0-3, then getting to 1-4. And we're thinking, all right, one more loss, sell off the pieces. Let's just call this year, it is what it is. Then they go and win a bunch of games in a row. They won 5 straight games, all without Justin Jefferson, by the way. And just when we thought, okay, we can make something out of this season still, they lose to the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. And so we're sitting at the bye week 6-6, ladies and gentlemen. And a couple of missed opportunities the last couple of weeks, couple of missed opportunities. But that's okay. You know, it's sometimes in life, you look back and you look at the mistakes you made. You think about what you could have done differently, and maybe you smack yourself upside the head, and then eventually you got to say, you know what? Got to look forward. And we still got a lot to look forward to this season. We still got 5 games left, 5 very winnable games, because Detroit is mediocre. Don't let that media train, oh, Detroit's finally got it figured out. No, they don't. No, they don't. And then I lost to the Packers, should have lost to the Bears too. So we still got a lot in front of us. We still got a lot in front of us. We absolutely do. Let me get some shout outs in the building for people that have come on by. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope you got to see your friends, families, loved ones. Hope you told everybody that you love, that you're thankful to see them. I'm thankful to be part of their lives. Let's see who's all in the building here first. Well, I was first because, as I said the other day, Mini Me is going on a field trip to the Big Apple. Mini Me to the Big Apple. That's what I put this down as. So any donations here tonight, as well as the next couple of shows I'm going to be doing, will go directly to the Mini Me Field Trip Fund, and we'll have a matching donation by the good old Rochester Public School System of Education. So anything you can throw down, I greatly appreciate it. Let's also hit that reset button for the first time tonight. Hit that like button, and if you don't already do so, hit that subscribe button. I'm just a few away from 1,000. A few meaning 82 or so, but that's all right. That is all right. All right, for real. Let's get to the real shout outs here. T-Bass is in the building. Pastronaut shirts are now 80% off. Use promo code. Thank you so kindly for joining, T-Bass. It's always going to be a good show when T-Bass is in the building because he's always got a good one-liner or 10. I expect the Lewis Scene one-liners to be forthcoming forthwith. Shout out Frozen North. Vikings are looking for any reason to pretend the entire offense didn't crap the bed Monday. It was the new guy's fault. Yeah, well, there is that. There is that. Glad we just have O'Neal and Darius off. Yeah, I would agree. Vikings have a severe. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about it. Shout out Frozen North in the building. Shout out Frozen North. Shout out Pops in the building. What's going on, Dad? Good to see you. Thank you so kindly for everything that you've done, that Mom's done, that our Lord and Savior, and all that good stuff. Thank you so very kindly for joining. Aaron Rodgers, no thank you. Said the same thing about Brett Favre. In fact, I remember when Brett Favre was our quarterback, I said, no, I don't like this idea. And I remember you and Mom saying to me, should we get you a Brett Favre jersey for Christmas? I said, heck no. And if you do, I'm just going to trade it in for somebody else. I don't know if you remember that, Pops, but thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. Yes, right on, T-Bass. Didn't want 5, don't want him. Thank you. Frozen says, no. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one, Frozen, but anyway, here we go. SKOL Mafia's in the building. What's going on? Purple Gang, what's going on, man? Good to see you, SKOL, bro. Good to see you. Shout out to one of the queens, Miss Mary, in the building. What's going on, Mary? Good to see you, as always. Hope your great-grandbaby doing good. Seeing those pictures of him just brings a smile to my face. Appreciate you, Mary. Shout out Tony in the building. What's up, Bell? Good to see you, man. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Tony SKOL Monster, T-Best. Oh, yeah. Shout out SKOL for Life Barber. What's going on? 1975. Get into the barbershop. Get your head faded, as Rap would say. Shout out Gary in the building. What's up, Gary? Good to see you, as always. Thank you so very kindly. What's going on, Mick? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I tell you what, Thanksgiving can be at times. It probably is one of my favorite holidays. It's probably the favorite holiday of the year for me, but that's just me. Put it in the comments. What was your one surprise dish that you had at Thanksgiving? What's the one dish that you say, if I could share this with everybody, if I could tell everybody on the world, on the world, in the world or on the planet, this is the one thing I sampled at Thanksgiving dinner. That was just outstanding. That was just outstanding. Shout out Sodak in the building. What's up, Sodak? And shout out to Sodak for the $9.99 super chat. Yeah, I'm done with sounders and I'm done with music until I get this microphone situation. Maybe I need some faster internet. I don't know. But either way, thanks, Sodak. I very much appreciate you. T-Bass says, not a big fan of these flex games. Yeah, that's true too. And for those who don't know, the Minnesota Vikings, not this first game out of the bye against the Raiders, but the second game out of the bye has officially been announced to be Saturday at noon, not Sunday at noon, but Saturday at noon. And that's on that's on what? The 16th? Yeah, Saturday the 16th is when the game against the Cincinnati Bungles will be, for any of y'all who don't know. Okay, we all know how we start out the show. This is your first time here. First off, say hello. Put your name in the chat. As you see, I shout out everybody. And if you're a first timer, everybody will shout you out. But having said all that, let's get down to the brass tacks. I'm really going to try to keep this under 40 minutes tonight. Got a halfway decent game tonight. A couple playoff teams currently. So we won't get too much past halftime. At least that's the idea. But we all know how we start the show. We move this over here, and we push this one right here. Shout out to all the active and veteran members of our military who fought for our freedoms and continue to fight for them so that we have the opportunity to sit on YouTube, talk about our favorite team, and enjoy all the freedoms that we enjoy every day of our lives, as well as to their family members who have to sacrifice time away from their loved ones so that we can all be safe and free. Thank you so very, very much. To the brave men and women who serve in law enforcement, firefighters, and EMS, who in times of tragedy are the ones running towards the danger, while the rest of us are just simply trying to get away from it. You potentially put your lives on the line every day when you put on that uniform and go to work. So thank you very, very much for keeping us safe. And finally, as always, to the doctors, nurses, surgeons, frontline workers, and home health care providers for taking care of us in our time of medical need. Your Super Bowl is bringing somebody to health and potentially saving a life. The brave men and women that I have shouted out here in these groups at times can work very thankless jobs. So I'm going to say thank you every time I start out my show. So thank you so very, very kindly to all of you for taking care of us and making us the greatest nation on this planet. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You better believe that. You better believe that. Got a couple here. Gary says, I made some tuna sushi rolls. All right. That's interesting. You know, here's the thing. I actually had a potluck at my aunt's house. Well, her apartment complex had this big old community room. Did a potluck with my aunt, my mom, and my dad, my cousins. We actually had some barbecue ribs there. Never had barbecue ribs at a Thanksgiving dinner. I was like, this is interesting. And they were good. My cousin's kid made these barbecue ribs. You know, I think she's like 18 or she's 17 or 18. No, she just graduated high school last year. So she's 18 or 19. And, you know, she can rattle the pots and pans pretty good. It was pretty good, if you ask me. But I digress. A lot of fun watching teams with coaches that can actually call an offensive game plan. Oh, you ain't lying, T-Bass. You are not lying at all. Oh, we're going to get into some of this here. All right, so topic number one, good old NFC North roundup. We bookended the week last week with the Packers beating the Lions and, unfortunately, the Bears beating down our Vikings. So the Vikings got the bye week, but everybody else playing. So let's go through it here real quick. Real quick. The Kansas City Chiefs go to Lambeau Field on Sunday Night Football. They're going to beat the Packers. I'm telling you right now, this resurgence that Green Bay thinks they're having right now, yeah, that's going to end. That's going to end. I know Kansas City doesn't look the way they usually do. Okay, that's all well and good, but whatever. I'm not tripping over them right now. I am not tripping over them right now. Kansas City's going to say, all right, Green Bay, you had a cute couple of weeks here. You thinking you back in this playoff hunt. And you know what? If Seattle doesn't win tonight, the Packers might actually get a shot to be in the playoffs with us too. And, I don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. But what I did say was I didn't want the Packers to be like a 3-win team and end up in the Caleb Williams, Drake May sweepstakes. So congratulations that you guys have screwed up your draft position. And realistically, you know, they do have a pretty easy schedule after Kansas City before they come get us. So that New Year's Eve game could be for a playoff spot. Part of me hopes that that's the case because it would be fun. But part of me hopes that they're already eliminated and we can just have our fun with them. I was incorrect. The Bears also have the week off. So the only other one is we got the Detroit Lions going down to the New Orleans Saints. Coming off the Saints are coming off a loss against the Falcons, and they're still tied for the lead in their division at 5-6. Yay, what a great division that is. And I think the Saints are going to give Detroit all they want. Now, Detroit tried to let us back into this division race the last couple of weeks by barely beating the Bears and then losing to the Packers, and the Vikings didn't take advantage of it. But the Vikings are actually, I think, going to have one more opportunity to put themselves in position to win this division, because I think the Saints are going to win that game. So there's your NFC North roundup. We making it short and sweet here, but that's all right. That is all right. Next topic. Prepare for takeoff. Jettas is back. Was he ever really not? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know we've gone back and forth. Well, should he have played against Chicago? Could he have come back a little bit earlier? Maybe, maybe not. At the end of the day, for me, it is what it is at this point. Now, no more excuses. No more, well, I'm kind of feeling okay. Okay, great. Now we don't have to listen to these idiots talk about their fantasy team like Justin Jefferson gives a rat's behind about anybody's fantasy team and why any of us should care about anything but Justin Jefferson being 100% ready. Yes, I get it. TJ Hawkinson, he played hurt. Okay, ribs a little different than a hamstring. Hamstring can be, re-injured, and then you can be out longer. All right. We're going to talk about the quarterbacks. We're going to talk about the head coach, but I'm so looking forward to Justin Jefferson being back. He's going to be full tank, 100%, or at least as close as he can be, because he did need to be activated. If he had missed the Vegas Raiders game, he would have been out for the season. So we all knew he wasn't going to be missing any more games after this. In hindsight, would Justin Jefferson over the last 2 weeks been able to make up the 3 points? We lost both these games by a combined 3 points. 3 points. Yeah, maybe Justin Jefferson would have made the difference. But it's easy to say that when you don't know the other side of the coin, which is it's also possible he could have got hurt. Oh, well. Don't look backwards. Let's look forward. And I'm really looking forward to him being back on that field. Right now, I think he's got 531 yards or something like that. JJ2K is not happening. Can JJ still get to 1,100 yards if he gets average about 100 yards a game for the last 5? Yeah, I think he does. My prediction right off the bat, Justin Jefferson will have at least 1,200 yards, which means he's going to tear it up. You say, well, he's going to be catching passes from somebody other than Kirk Cousins. How is Justin Jefferson going to do that? He's Justin Jefferson. Okay. I've always said let's slow our roll about comparing him to Randy Moss, but Randy Moss didn't have consistency at the quarterback. He went from Brad Johnson to Randall Cunningham to Jeff George, Dante Culpepper. Todd Bauman threw him a couple passes here and there. And then he went to Kerry Collins in Oakland at the time before he finally got in touch with Tom Brady. Okay. Justin Jefferson is going to be fine. Is he going to be otherworldly the way he was with Kirk Cousins? Probably not. That would be an unfair expectation both to him and to whoever's throwing him the ball, but he's still going to be Justin Jefferson. And so that's going to elevate this offense. Hopefully, and we'll get into this later, KOC will finally get his head out of his rear end and stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Just get the ball in your playmakers' hands. Take advantage of what your team does well. Don't try to fit them into your scheme. Fit your scheme into them. I cannot wait. Put it in the comments. Where do you think Justin Jefferson ends up yardage-wise? Like I said, right now, I think he's at 531. I'm going to double-check that here real quick just to be on the safe side. But for right now, I'm going to say it like this. I think he gets to 1,200. I honestly do, because I think he is itching. I think he is rearing to get back on that field, and I'm here for it. I cannot wait. Let's get those stats up here. Hold on. I should have looked this up ahead of time. My bad, y'all. My bad. Yes, I know TJ Hawkinson has carried the load, and up until the last couple of weeks, Jordan Addison's been pretty good. He's been stymied a little bit. Okay, 571. So he's going to need 600. Let's do the math. 629 yards in 5 games. Yeah, I think he can do it. Y'all think he do it? Tell me what you think. I think he can get 600 and some odd yards in the next 5 games. Absolutely, I do. So that's my first prediction right off the bat. Justin Jefferson will get to 1,200 yards by the end of this season. All right, let's get back to the comments here. Reset button. Hit that like button, please, ladies and gentlemen. Who's in the building? Somebody give me a like count. And if you haven't already heard, any donations tonight, get a partial match for the fundraiser chip for the mini me going to the Big Apple. So help me out, ladies and gentlemen. Help me out as best you can. All right, I know I'm a little behind on the old shout outs here. So I know I got some people in here I got to shout out. So let's go. A lot of fun. Oh, yeah, I did that one already. Shout out Greg in the building. What's up, G-Mac? Good to see you. Thank you kindly for joining me. I appreciate you, as always, for coming on by. You also made pumpkin bread. Really? Pumpkin bread pudding. I'll tell you this, Gary. I am not a fan of pumpkin. I like pumpkin bars, okay? Pumpkin bars I can do. And, in fact, I had some pumpkin bars. My mom made some of those, and those were outstanding as always. But I'm more of an apple pie kind of guy, so to speak. I don't like I don't like pumpkin pie, but pumpkin bread pudding. That's interesting. One of these days we'll get together. You have to make that for me. I don't think I've ever had pumpkin bread pudding, but I'll try it. T-Bass, just remember everyone was in love with yeah, okay. We'll get to that, T-Bass. We'll get to that. Shout out Yogi. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Everybody shout out Yogi. If you don't subscribe to Purple Rain 247, brother just hit 300. Let's get his numbers up here as well. If you rock with me, go rock with my boy Yogi here and his crew as well. Let's see. Minnesota Whitetail calling my shout out Clifford. What's going on? Good to see you. Thank you kindly for joining me. We got a house call from the doctor. What's going on, Dr. Proto? Good to see you as always. We got Roger in the house. What's going on, Roger? Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys. Yeah, Addison does appear to be hitting that proverbial rookie wall. Thank you for bringing that up, Clifford. I was going to say that, and then mine went elsewhere. But yeah, and I think that he is going to benefit the most. You know, obviously the quarterback, whoever it may be, is going to benefit from Justin Jefferson. But I think Jordan Addison, of all the people, is going to benefit the most from having Justin Jefferson back in the building and on the field, taking away coverage. And if it is Josh Dobbs, you want to put a spy on him, and you want to double team Justin Jefferson, that should open up things for a lot of players. TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, and maybe even our run game can be a little more consistent. Although the play calling could have a little something to do with that. But some of it's execution too. Shout out Gary in the building. Hey, I appreciate you too, man. I appreciate you. Thanks, Gary, for the $9.99. Again, not doing any sounders because my mic always gets cut off. So replay football because yeah, that's true too. That's true too. That's very, very true. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, School Mafia. Shout out to Tony in the building. Shout out to Dave Thibodeau in the building. Thank you guys so much, so kindly for joining me. Y'all going to have to help me out. And by the way, somebody put the bat signal out to Davey Chains. I texted him earlier because I said, hey, if you're a member, now remember, if you are a member, just shoot me a note. So you want to come on the mic. So if you're a part of that membership group, you want to get on the mic tonight, tonight's the night. I say at any Monday night or Thursday night show, you want to come on for a minute, you can come on here tonight. And you know what? Tonight's going to be that night because it's the bye week. And we just kind of, everybody scatters and coaches have these, hey, goodbye, news conferences, see you next week kind of thing. So y'all want to get on the mic, if you hit that membership group, by all means, feel free to just shoot me a note and I'll send you the link and get you on the mic here tonight. Oh, that's your name. I thought you hit it. I thought you said you was doing the giveaway the other day. I thought that meant you hit it. All right. Well, get my boy Yogi up to 300, ladies and gentlemen. I think he said he was doing the giveaway. Shout out Ryan in the building. What's going on? Thank goodness for this bye. Could you imagine the Vikings play the US? Oh boy. No, the bye's coming at a good time. In fact, this is the latest that you can have a bye is week 13. They probably could have used to have it. Probably could have used to have that bye week, maybe a week or two earlier, but you know what? They're going to need to recharge because you can kind of tell they've been on this roller coaster all year, and it's all about the turnovers. I mean, honestly, they've had 12 games and have 24 turnovers. They're averaging 2 turnovers a game. It's almost a miracle that they're 6-6 with that many turnovers, for crying out loud. So, but yeah, thanks, Ryan, for coming on by. I appreciate you as always. So very, very much. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. Best pie is blackberry. Totally overlooked, just like the Vikings. There you go. There you go, doctor. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Mary. How is Kim doing, Ryan? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Yes, and play calling. Absolutely. We'll get to that in a little bit here. All right. What's next on the extravaganza? What did I say do next? Oh, yes. The quarterback carousel. Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullens, Jerry Mahomes Hall. Rock, paper, scissors. They each got their advantages and they each got their disadvantages. I'm going to start with Nick Mullens, the one I want to see the least. So I'm just going to get this guy out of the way. I want nothing to do with Nick Mullens. He is the safest play. He is the most boring play. Well, he gives us the best chance to not turn the ball over, and all we need to do is not turn the ball over. Well, that's not all we need to do. Is that a big part of what we need to do? Absolutely it is. But I am not playing the guy with the highest floor and the lowest ceiling. I've said that line a million times about Kirk. And yeah, we all miss Kirk right now. Doesn't mean I want to re-sign him. We'll talk about what Jared Allen had to say in a minute, but no, I want nothing to do with Nick Mullens. Zero. Well, if we just take care of the ball, our defense can win us some games. Yeah, we can win us some regular season wins with that formula of let's just play conservative. Let's just play not to turn the ball over. You know what that's called? It's called playing not to lose. No, you play to win. You don't play not to lose. You play to win the game. You don't play it to just play it. How many more coaches can we quote here? I don't know. But what I'm saying is this. Nick Mullens does nothing for me. Well, it'll allow Kevin O'Connell to run the same offense that he would run under Kirk Cousins. That's not the out that we take. We don't play the quarterback with the least amount of upside and the safest just so that the head coach doesn't have to change his ways. No, you are the head coach. You have to be adaptable. You have to mold your offensive game plan to the players that you have on the field. You don't put the worst guy in there just so that you don't have to change. That's why you get paid millions of dollars. That's why you're the head coach of a National Football League team. There's only 32 of them. You got one of the 32 best football coaching gigs on the planet, and you want to put in the worst guy? No. So I don't want to hear anything about Nick Mullens. After the game and yesterday as well, or a couple days ago, Kevin O'Connell was asked, hey, you going to make a change at the quarterback? You're going to keep going with Josh Dobbs? What you going to do? Well, I'm going to be non-committal about it. I'm not going to say that I'm definitely making a change, but I'm not saying that he gets a job either. And again, that's coach speak. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And that's kind of what you should do. That's the good strategic move, is to not give away what your game plan is going to be, particularly 2 weeks in advance. But he doubled down on it Monday and said, no, I'm going to consider everything here. Okay, consider this. No matter who you play to their strengths, as I said. So to me, number 3 on the list is Nick Mullens. Number 2 on the list, Josh Dobbs. Why? He does have the highest ceiling, but he also has the lowest floor. We've seen how many turnovers this guy has had. Too many. Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullens, for that matter, are just quarterbacks that are nice backup quarterbacks. Because here's the deal. We were 4-4 with Kirk Cousins. You say, well, that wasn't all Kirk's fault. I'm not saying whose fault it was. We were 4-4 with Kirk Cousins, and we're 2-2 without Kirk Cousins. So that ought to tell you something. It's not about the quarterback per se. I'm not going to say he makes no difference, because obviously, yes, we had a much better chance of beating the Bears and the Broncos if we had Kirk Cousins than we did with Josh Dobbs. It doesn't take a genius or a rocket scientist to figure that one out. Okay, but here's what I'm saying. Josh Dobbs, if Kevin O'Connell would allow him to utilize his God-given ability, his natural athleticism, then I might have him at 1. But right now, the evidence I have is that Kevin O'Connell wants to make him a pocket passer. And I understand to a certain extent why, because you don't want to just run back football out there. You're only going to have so many opportunities to run backyard football. Eventually, it's going to catch up with you. Absolutely. But at the same time, don't just try to go from backyard football instantaneously to I'm going to make this guy a pocket passer. He's been on 52 different teams. There's a reason nobody wants this guy. So if you're going to roll with Josh Dobbs, you have to utilize him more. I don't like that down half the field. Why use the whole field if he's not capable of utilizing it? Use half the field, get him on the run, and if he doesn't see anything in his first 2 reads, have him take off. Because you know what that's going to do? That's going to open up the running game. Do some more of these read options, run pass options, line up in the shotgun, and do the fake handoff and then the quarterback runs. Or sometimes he lets the running back have the ball. All I'm saying is this. Kevin O'Connell, what you've been doing with Josh Dobbs, yeah, you got away with it in Atlanta because it was, hey, we're coming off the cuff here, don't have tape on him, and you had the element of surprise. And even in that game, it took you a last-minute touchdown to win it because he was turning the ball over. So for me, right now, I put Dobbs at the number 2 spot because he just turns the ball over too much. Now, again, if Kevin O'Connell decides to, all right, I'm going to utilize his talents more, then okay, that's fine. But for me, I would go with Jared Mahomes Hall. 1, because I actually like the guy. I actually think he's got something. I'm not saying that he's ready to be a starting quarterback, no questions asked in 2024. I'm not saying he's on the fast track to the Hall of Fame or even to be a franchise quarterback. I'm not saying any of those things. But what I am saying, and what I will continue to say, is that's the guy who I want to see. He's the guy in the middle. He doesn't have the highest ceiling. He also doesn't have the lowest floor. I'm not going to make too big of a deal out of that one drive that he had in Atlanta before he got concussed. And you can make the argument, well, the reason he only had one drive is because he put himself in harm's way. Okay, you can say that. I'm listening to some of that. But he's far more accurate, than Josh Dobbs is. Far more accurate than Josh Dobbs is. And he's got a little more spice to him than Nick Mullens. So I want the guy that's got somewhat of the best of both worlds. And more importantly than that, more importantly than all that, I want to know what we have in this guy. I said at the beginning of the season that if Kirk Cousins were to go down for the year, which at the time seemed preposterous because Kirk Cousins doesn't ever miss time, I said, you don't put Nick Mullens in there. If Kirk Cousins was out for a couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks, you go with Nick Mullens and you hope to go 500, kind of like what Josh Dobbs did. Okay. But if Kirk Cousins is out for the year, you put your guy in that you drafted, that you said, hey, this is a guy we're going to mold, and we're going to be Kevin O'Connell's going to be Michelangelo, and, take that ball of clay and make a masterpiece out of him. Fine. Well, this is your opportunity. Now, yes, you had no choice when he got hurt, but you got a choice now. He's back, just like Justin Jefferson's back. Get Jerry Mahomes all out there with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson and company, and let's see what the kid has. Because, again, I want to know at the end of this season what we have in Jaren Hall. And we're not going to know that playing Nick bleeping Mullens or Josh Dobbs. We're not going to be able to learn anything about Jaren Hall. And to me, at this point, the season is just it is what it is. It's found money. It's house money. Whatever it ends up being is what it's going to end up being. Whether you miss the playoffs or whether you make the playoffs and get bounced in the first round, or somehow, some way you make the playoffs and you get a playoff victory. All I'm saying is this. I want Jaren Hall to be the quarterback coming out the bye week against the Vegas Raiders. And as long as he's healthy, I want him to play the rest of the 5 games this season and beyond. That's me. Because, again, I don't want more uncertainty. Aren't you sick of uncertainty? And by the way, let's circle to Jared Allen's comments about Kirk Cousins, as long as we're talking about quarterbacks here. Everybody talking, well, maybe the opportunity for Kirk Cousins to come back is greater than it was before because, well, no, he might do it. Stop. Everybody stop. No. And this is not Kirk Cousins hate. If you're a Kirk stan, this is not anti-Kirk. It really isn't. It's about the logistics. It's about salary cap. It's about, take the name Kirk Cousins out of it for a second. If the Vikings needed to sign a quarterback and there was a veteran free agent available who was playing like a top 10 quarterback, absolutely, maybe even top 5, I'll give him that. But 36 years old is what Kirk Cousins will be at the start of the season next year. 36. I don't want to hear about Tom Brady and Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers for that matter. Just stop. No. And he's coming off an Achilles injury. There is no way that any Vikings fan, whether you're a pure Vikings fan, no matter what, or you like the Vikings more because you love Kirk Cousins, I don't care. No fan of any NFL team would say, yeah, sign me up for a 36-year-old quarterback who has no mobility to begin with, who is strictly a pocket passer coming off an Achilles injuries. You wouldn't want a guy like that. So no, I don't want a guy like that. And I also don't want a guy who, let's go over the salary cap implications one more time. Kirk Cousins has $28.5 million of dead money that is going to have to hit the Viking salary cap eventually due to the lovely deals that were given to him by both Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Rick Spielman, by the way, and signed off on by Ziggy and Mark Wilf. If the Vikings do not retain him, all $28.5 will hit the 2024 salary cap. Now, if they sign him to a contract, 10 of that will hit 2024, and the remaining 18.5 will be pushed out to 225 and beyond. Now, so let's say Kirk Cousins says, all right, I'll give you a little discount. I would have asked for $50 million. I'll only ask for 40 now because I'm not taking any less than Daniel Jones. And better believe that, ladies and gentlemen. He's not taking any less. Injury or not, he's not taking any less than Daniel Jones at $40 million. So let's say you sign Kirk Cousins to a 1-year, $40 million deal. Well, then his salary cap hit's going to be 50. And you got to sign Justin Jefferson. And you're going to want to bring back Danielle Hunter. If you don't at this point know that Danielle Hunter and Justin Jefferson are your 2 top priorities, and oh, by the way, you got Christian Darrisaw sitting on the back burner waiting to get signed. No, you cannot afford to bring Kirk Cousins back. And I don't want to hear, well, he'll take a really low number. No, he won't. And nor should he. He's under no obligation to take less money. Anybody. You will never, ever get me to say that a player should take less money. No, they put their bodies on the line. They take all that punishment. They get every dime they want. These owners make enough money. These players get every dime that you can get. But what I'm saying is this. Even if Kirk Cousins said, I'll play for 20, well, then his salary cap hits 30. He's not paying for no 20. He's not going to do that. And she said, well, he was going to give us a discount. Yeah, he was going to give us a discount from $42 million down to about 37.5, which means his salary cap number, even at 37.5, would be 47.5. Okay, so it's about economics too. It's not just about Kirk. It's not just about how well he was playing. And I'll be the first to say he was playing very, very well. And it's unfortunate because we finally have a halfway decent pass blocking offensive line. And we also have a pretty daggone good defense. For the first time, we finally got both. And then he gets injured. Sorry. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It just is. I wish no ill will towards him, but I'm sorry. Jared Allen is 100% right. You don't bring him back. You've seen what life is like with a mobile quarterback, good and bad. You've seen what it's like. And you've also seen that a mobile quarterback can overcome some deficiencies the way a pocket passer can't. So, no, I'm not giving a contract extension to Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury at 36 years old when whatever number you give him, you have to add $10 million to. And by the way, if you don't bring him back, okay, so that's $28.5 million dead for him not being here. Well, that sucks. Yeah, it does suck. But you know what sucks even more? Only paying 10 of that 28 and then having 18.5 flow over the 2025. And you know what? I seriously doubt that Kirk Cousins would take a 1-year deal anyway. He's going to want at least 2. He's going to want 2 years plus an option year for a third. That's just Kirk. Okay. And I don't blame him. I don't begrudge him. I'm just saying Jared Allen is correct. Say goodbye to Kirk Cousins. Start Jared Mahomes Hall for the rest of the season and see what you got. Because, the notion of, we probably have a better chance of getting to the playoffs with either Dobbs or Nick Mullens. I'm like, that's not the goal at this point. What the goal at this point is to see what you have for the long term. And if you make the playoffs, so much the better. So much the better. But that's just my thoughts. And in any event, Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips and whoever starting back is, Kevin O'Connell, whichever one you pick, utilize their to the max. Stop trying to force into your system. Because you know what? We've seen that last couple weeks isn't now that I put that off chest, it's my going in and out. I just saw a spinner. Let me know. Shout out to G-Mac for the $10 suit. Uh-oh. All right, stand by. There we go. Shout out to Rap in the building and for the $9.99 super chat. Shout out to Greg for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you guys as always. So thank you very, very kindly. All right, I think I'm back. I think I might have been out for a minute and it's driving me ridiculous. I might have to call this internet company because I reset the router and the modem and everything here. So I appreciate y'all hanging in here with me. Appreciate y'all hanging in. All right, let's get back to the chats. I know I got some people in the building that I got to shout out because, like I said, we just got the super chat from Greg there. Appreciate you. Dude, it's gonna be Mullens. That's KLC. Well, yeah, I know it's his assistant. It ain't gonna be no man. What's up, North? Shout out Northfius in the building. What's going on, Northfius? No, it ain't gonna be. He's gone. Thank goodness. That's what I just went through is what I think should happen. What do I think will actually happen? I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna get back to the end. Tony says, play Jaren Hall and see what you got in the kid. Thank you. I totally agree. Rap in here, yes, sir. Shout out Grandpa Dave from Vikings versus SKOL. And by the way, if you don't subscribe to Vikings versus SKOL on the YouTube as well as your favorite podcast aggregator, I make some appearances on their podcast feed as well. Thank you, Dave, for coming on by tonight. Very much appreciate you. I knew you wouldn't miss him. If anybody in here, like my compatriot Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk, he thinks I'm a Kirk hater. I got nothing. I got nothing on Tony Bell. And Northfield agrees. I mean, listen, I'm just saying that I had resigned the fact that no matter what happened this year, short of a Super Bowl appearance, that this was going to be Kirk Cousins' last season. And I would have liked to have seen it play out. But alas, don't look back. Just look forward. Let's see who else we got in here. I thought I saw one more. Thought I saw more. Well, let me see what Clifford's got. If they want actual possible in the playoff games, if they make it, KLC needs to stick to Dobbs. But if the Vikings are playing in the future, they need to play Hall. Yeah, I'll give you that. And I will say this. I think that Josh Dobbs, I think he looked to me like he was coached not to take off running. That's what it looked like to me, that it was, hey, stay in the pocket, be a pocket passer. So, yeah, at the end of it, as I said, if I could be assured that Kevin O'Connell was going to let Josh Dobbs cook, then I probably would put Josh higher. I'm just going off of the evidence of what I see now. But even with that being said, I still want it to be Jaren Hall because I want to know what I got in the kid. I want to know if we need to spend a first-round draft pick on a quarterback or if Jaren Hall actually shows us that he's got something. I agree with you, North Street's got to see Jaren Hall. Yes. SKOL Mafia. Jared Mahomes Hall, you got it. T-Bass. Yep. You got to know now. I totally agree. And I agree with SKOL Mafia. Mullens sucks. Even preseason, he was over. Yeah, he was. But here's the thing. He's a veteran quarterback, and he knows this system so well. And like I said, Nick Mullens is probably what KLC deep down really wants because then he can just run the same offense he was running with Kirk, and he doesn't have to change anything. Shout out, Gary. 5-0? Is that right? Wow. It was 3-0 when I started. They're killing it. Hey, they got this new coach, so everything must be better now, right? They always win that first game. You know, when hockey coaches get fired, they always win that first game. It's like, oh, yep, see, he was the problem. Then the previous coach was the problem. Okay, so it looks like the Sea Chickens took the lead against the Cowboys. All right. Yeah, 5-0 over Nashville. All right, go Wild. All right. Anyway, back to the issues at hand here. Roger says put Hall in if we don't work out next. Yeah, I said I totally agree. There you go. Let's see here. You play the cards that are dealt. Play to his advantage. Yes, Clifford. That's what I don't understand. He's trying to make him Kirk. He's not going to be Kirk in 2 weeks. Let him do what he does well. Matty didn't start, but he still got the. Yeah, I'm kind of over trying to figure out this running game. That's another good point. Let's talk about that real quick. This running game needs to get figured out. And no rap, it's not about Dalvin Cook, because Dalvin Cook wouldn't be doing a whole lot better in this system right now with these guys anyway. Now, maybe he would have provided a little bit of a stabilizing force, and yeah, maybe he would have found the end zone. I'll give you those. But by and large, I mean, you see what Dalvin Cook's done in New York. Absolutely nothing. But if they have any aspirations of making any noise, getting to the playoffs, and maybe actually pulling off an upset, they have got to get this run game figured out. And they had some good – Alexander Madison had some good runs. But you get the ball after scoring a touchdown, and the defense turns them over, and all you need to do is run out the clock. That's all you needed to do. You need to get 1 or 2 more first downs, and the game was over. Get 1 more first down, and then you can either go for it on 4th down and clinch the game, or you're in field goal range, which means you would have made them drive for a touchdown, which may or may not have happened. We don't know. Butterfly effect and all that good stuff. But I'm telling you right now, this running game has got to get on track. And, you know, I've been clamoring for Ty Chandler, and Ty Chandler did absolutely diddly and poo on Monday Night Football. So I don't know what to make of it anymore. I don't know if it's the inconsistent play calling. I don't know if it's the run blocking. I don't know if it's the running backs. I don't know what the problem is. But no, I'm not clamoring for Dalvin Cook. And I for dang sure I'm not clamoring. Oh, Adrian Peterson was in the house. See if he can still suit up. Stop with that mess. It's time to put the blame on KLC for not adjusting to the personnel he has. Yes. You know what, Tony? I'd love to sit down with you and T-Bass, because I'll just sit there and watch you guys talk about KLC and how much he's got to work on, because you guys are in the same boat there. Yep. To a certain extent, I agree. He is in over his head. I mean, he's only a second-year head coach. And as you have pointed out, has had no head coaching experience prior to this. So, you know, that 13 wins will get him through this season. You know, that built up some equity. But it's getting down to that point in time where it's like, okay, dude, what are you thinking? Just what the heck are you thinking? KOC was making Dobbs play like he was good. Yes, exactly. Totally agree. I know I'm really far behind. Tony, terrible play caller. I'm getting there. Rams ball boy. See, you guys have already got it figured out. Oh, you're funny, Northfield. You're funny. All right, back to the Thanksgiving talk. So Thanksgiving leftovers, made a pizza as gravy as what? Oh, you made a Thanksgiving pizza. Okay, I get you. Okay. I all right. You got it going on. You got some exciting ideas, Gary. I'll give you that. I will definitely give you that. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what. Very much so. All right. Shout out to Rap again. I know I got a super chat up there, but I'll give him a shout out one more time because he's my guy. I think we have like 20 million, 28 and a half. 28 and a half is what it is. So it goes 10 and a quarter, 10 and a quarter, 4 and 4. So if he's not on roster, all 28 and a half. If he is on roster, 10 and a quarter next year, the other 18 and change to 2025. And no, I am not interested in re-signing him. And it's not about him. It's just about it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Shout out to Darian. What's going on? Good to see you. Don't make me drive to Minneapolis. Don't know where you're going with that, but if you ever did, you got to let me know. I'm down in Rochester, but Minneapolis about an hour and a half away. So we can meet for a beer sometime, anytime. Frozen North, same as Zimmer. Not about what we fans definitely want to be a quarterback. It's about what the coach already. Yes. Again, here's the one thing I will agree with T-Bass on. And I said this last year. Kevin O'Connell tries to be the smartest guy in the room. And he wants to outsmart everybody. Well, half the time he outsmarts himself. I mean, I like this guy to an extent. I mean, he has changed the culture, but honestly, you should know what your team is capable of. Yeah, I know. I'm getting caught up here. Yeah. All right, Tony, good to see you. You probably ain't even in there. Okay, yeah. There you go. There you go. All right, let's get caught up here. Hold on. There's my guy, Mock. I want to mock Bob. Shout out, Bob. What's going on? Good to see you. Shout out to the best Twitter, Facebook, YouTube handle of all time, My Worthless Opinion. It's a great bit. And it's ironic because your opinion is rarely, if ever, worthless, especially on my show. Thanks, you guys, for hanging around here while I got through that internet issue there. But let's see who we got. We got Dylan in the building. What's going on, Dylan? I think we all just need to get comfortable with Mullens. Probably. If it were me, I'm giving Jerry Mahomes Hall another chance. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Dylan. That's what I would do. That's absolutely what I would do. But we'll see. We got a couple of weeks. Maybe KOC's keeping it close to the vest, and maybe he is going to make the right choice and actually start Jaron Mahomes Hall. But we'll see. I think our office is going to be blah until KOC goes. I don't know. I think he has a vision of what he wants, but he doesn't necessarily have the right tools to do it right now. And so he's trying to play both sides. He's trying to play I want a pocket passer, but I want to utilize the guy's mobility, but I don't want him to get too far off script. I mean, he needs to find a guy that can run his system but still be mobile. And I think that's what he's shooting for right now, but that's just my guess. Yeah, Rap, I definitely enjoyed your video today. If y'all didn't check out Rap's video after the show, go ahead and get on over there and check my guy out. And if you didn't have a chance to see us Tuesday night, we did Rapping for Days on Tuesday. And Rap got a little spicy. Just a little spicy. And that's on my channel, so go check it out after the show if you missed it. All right, I'm going to get caught up with you guys, and then I'm going to get back to my last couple topics because I'm trying to actually get back, be able to watch the second half of this game. There's the obligatory scene coming. I hear Cena's going to dress for Christmas Eve game dress as he will be in the Santa Claus outfit. Line of the night, T-Bass. Line of the night. I have no idea what Newport News is, but I'll let you guys go. Yes, Mary, that was absolutely brilliant. All right, in all seriousness, let's hit the reset button here. As you see scrolling, the super chats are open as well as Cash App, Purple and Gold for Days. You probably have all heard this, but if you haven't, if you just got in the building, Mini-Me is going to the Big Apple as well as Washington, D.C., so anything in the super chats or my Cash App will get a matching donation due to the Rochester Public School fundraising system, so anything you can help me out with, I very, very much appreciate it. That picture of her and I was taken at US Bank Stadium to the first game that we took her to, and that was the Indianapolis Colts game, the greatest comeback in NFL history. Like any other kid that was there wants to say, it was because they were there. Her and I went with a very dear friend of mine and her son, and it was just an absolute. The first half was garbage. The first half, we're just like, I can't believe we brought these two to this game as their first game. It got turned around by the end of the game. But if you didn't already hit that like button, and if you don't already subscribe, hit that subscribe button for me as well. Okay. Final record. I wish I knew who the quarterback was going to be. But put your final record predictions in the chat there, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what you think we got going on. I'm going to say it like this. I think if Dobbs or Nick Mullens are the quarterback, I'm going to say that the Vikings are going to win 2 or 3 games. And I'm going to put that pretty much in the middle. So I think then that they would be somewhere in the 8-9 to 9-8 range. With Jaron Mahomes Hall, I think they can go 4-1 or they could go 1-4. So that's why there's a bit of a variance there. And that's probably why Jaron Mahomes Hall won't be given the opportunity, because coaches don't like variance. They like sure things. But in all seriousness, I think we beat the Raiders. Although, again, on paper, we should be probably 3-2 or 4-1. Split with Detroit. Should be the only loss. It should be on paper. We should beat the Packers. We should beat the Bungles. We should beat the Raiders. But we should have beat the Chicago Bears and, frankly, should have beaten the Denver Broncos. So nothing is guaranteed with these Vikings anymore. But my official final record prediction is this. I think they're going to get to 10 wins. I do think that they're going to go 4-1. How they're going to do it, I don't know. Maybe the optimist is getting a little bit more than the pessimist is. I got to do one of those videos again. Maybe I'll try to get it cut up over the bye week here. but I digress. The point I'm making is this. The Vikings still have everything in front of them. And so I'm going to switch that right into the final topic of the night, and then we'll get up out of here. And by the way, if you are a member and you want to get on the mic tonight here, just put it in the chat or shoot me a DM on Twitter or on Messenger. I know Davey Change was looking to get into it earlier. I sent him a message. So if Davey Change gets in the building, he's definitely going to get on the mic tonight because he was asking me about Tuesday. But playoffs, all right, it's real simple. You still control your own destiny for the wild card spot. And frankly, that's probably the most objective way of looking at it right now. I'm not saying that the division is completely out of the picture because, again, if the Saints beat the Lions, we got a shot. We're right back in it. And if we just win out the rest of our games, and that includes, obviously, sweeping the Detroit Lions, we can still win this division. But the likelihood of winning this division is dwindling at this point. So right now, the Vikings currently sit in the 6th seed. If the Seattle Sea Chickens win or lose, well, if they lose, we'll be tied with them for the 6th spot. But Seattle's got a pretty tough schedule coming up. After they get done with the Dallas Cowboys tonight, they've got the 49ers, they've got the Eagles, they got the Titans, Steelers, and then they finish up with the Cardinals. So they've got a pretty tough road to hoe the next 3 weeks. And I know they're leading at halftime right now, but the point I'm making is this. We should be able to pass Seattle at minimum to get to that 6th seed. At minimum, we should be able to. Yeah, the Green Bay Packers, they're nipping at our heels. I anticipate them to take a loss, so there'll be a game behind us, plus we got the 1-game tiebreaker over them. And the Rams at 5-6, the Saints 5-6, they're fighting with the Falcons for that 4th seed. I'm just simply saying this. You could probably go 3-2. You could probably get to the playoffs at 9-8. Now you'll be the 7th seed and you'll be a sacrificial lamb for the San Francisco 49ers, but you go 4-1, get to that 6th spot, and then be facing Detroit for the 3rd time in 4 weeks. I'll take my chances with that. But no, this team, despite the fact that it has blown 2 games over the last 2 weeks, where you could easily be 8-4 right now and fighting for that division and be in great shape for it, despite the fact that they have missed those opportunities, there's still plenty of season to go. This season ain't over yet. And like I said, I want the best of both worlds. I want this team to continue to remain competitive, but I want it to be done with Jaren Hall as the quarterback, because not only are we still doing this season, but we're also looking ahead in the future. But for right now, yeah, I think they're still going to get to 10. I really do. Now, maybe that's wishful thinking. King of wishful thinking, I've been labeled once or twice in my life. Can they go 4-1 in these last 5? Absolutely. You can get the Bungles, the Raiders, and the Packers, and then just need 1 against Detroit to get to 10. And that absolutely guarantees you a playoff spot. This NFC, the bottom of the NFC is garbage. I mean, again, San Francisco and Philadelphia, that's going to be a great game this weekend. That's the top 2 teams, and what everybody considers will probably be a preview of the NFC Championship game again. And obviously now the 49ers hopefully will actually be able to have a quarterback beyond the first quarter. But Vikings can still make these playoffs. We can still do this. But what do you guys think? Do you think right now that the Vikings will make the playoffs? Do you think they still got a shot at the division? Put it in the chat. Tell me where you guys are at, because I think we're still going to make these playoffs, regardless of all the tomfoolery and skullduggery that we have had. This season, it seems like it's been going on for like 3 months. I mean, Skull Fest, opening weekend, when we were in Minneapolis, me and the other content creators, it seems like 3 months ago. It wasn't. It was barely 2. But anyway, put it in the chat. Where do you think our record ends up? Where do you think do we end up making these playoffs or not here? So let's see what we got going on. All right, let me get to these last chats, and then I'm going to get up out of here for real. I know. I didn't keep it under 40, but I'm keeping it under 60. That's for darn sure. That's for darn sure. And I hate that this thing does not save where I was. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Okay. All right, so there's my T-Bass comment. There we go. All right, Grandpa Dave, there's no way the Wilfs will bleep cans KOC after 2 years. No, absolutely they won't. We just have to hope that he figures out that he needs to modify his system. Yes, totally agree. There's a negative chance that they could lose the rest of their games 50-0 each week, and KOC would still be the coach of this team. So I totally agree, Dave. There is absolutely zero chance. But here's what I will say. I haven't talked much about the defense tonight. Why? Because they're not the problem. They're doing well. Danielle Hunter, he's about to hit his final incentive, and we still got 5 games to go. Danielle Hunter needs to be Justin Jefferson is priority 1. Danielle Hunter is priority 2. And I don't want to hear, well, if we sign Jefferson, we better sign Kirk Cousins. Otherwise, Jefferson's not going to want to sign you. We can stop with that BS too. But no, Danielle Hunter is far greater a priority than Kirk Cousins is. And Brian Flores, pay him whatever it takes. There's no salary cap on coaches, so pay that man whatever it takes. You don't stand in his way of getting a head coaching opportunity, but I don't think he's going to take a job just to take a job. He had an opportunity to take Arizona. He said, heck no, I'm not taking that job. The job's garbage. So let's see here. Frozen says, yeah, they won't. And it would be unsmart to get rid of him. Yeah, I've said what I have to say about him, and I still have my thoughts, as I've said, but no, he doesn't deserve to get fired yet. Shout out to Gary for the $1.99 and Gary for the $9.99. As shout out to Norsefius for the $20 super chat. Appreciate all of you so very, very much, and she will appreciate it as well. I haven't seen her because this is not my week with her, but I did see her for about 10 minutes before her mom picked her up tonight. And I said, yeah, I've been telling people to help me out here, to help me get you to New York and whatnot. And she's like, you did? Which picture? I hope you didn't use an ugly picture of me, Dad. And I'm like, no, this is the one I used. She's like, well, that one's okay. I'm like, you say that about all the pictures of you. That's the thing about me. Goes, that's not a good picture of me. I'm like, I have 600 of them. You say all 6 of them aren't any good. But anyway, shout out Norsefius and Gary again, as always. Appreciate you so very, very much. All right, let's get this wrapped up here. All right, I appreciate you, man. All right, so Ryan says 10-7. They beat the Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, and lose to the Kings. Okay, I can see that. That's the most likely scenario, I think. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, we somewhere. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, actually, David, it would be somewhere between 6 wins. You forgot ties. You didn't put the tie possibilities in there, but in all seriousness, I see what you did there. So T-Bass said at the beginning of the year, 8 or 9 wins and he's staying pat. All right, that's fair. That's totally fair with the way he's going. Shout out Dayon in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Appreciate you stopping by. Bob says, hey, we're going to go 12-5. I'm pretty sure that's not possible. I'm pretty sure that the best they can do is 11-6. But in all seriousness, I know Bob's always going to pick him to win. Hey, it's all good, man. We can still get this, though. We still can. Dylan says 10-7 before the year, and I can't see how we get to that record. Well, it's going to be tough. It's not impossible, but it's going to be tough. All right, Gary, hold on a second. All right, Gary, hold up. All right, so maybe I will hit this hour because I'm going to get my guy Gary in the building here. Hold on just a second, you guys. Gary, I'm going to text this to you. Here. Yes, I know. I haven't been doing any of the music because, again, the music just messes up. You already saw what my internet did earlier tonight. So, all right, Gary, it's in your text messages right about now. And, again, if you got that Vikings helmet, you got that membership, you want to get on, just let me know. I'll get that sent over to you. But, Gary, it's in your text right now. Just worry about the business you can control. Yeah, totally agree. We're doing good, man. We're doing good. We chilling on this bye week. Thanks, Dayon. I very much appreciate you. Like I said, if you got that membership app on, you want to get on the mic, just let me know, and I'll send you an email, send you a text if I got you, or from Messenger, Twitter, whatever the case may be. Should have beaten their Bears. Their defense showed up better than our offense. Yeah. The tackles did not have their best game. That's a very good point. I did mention this the other day with Rap. Yeah, our tackles were not good. I mean, the Bears' defense is solid. It's not great. But again, our defense gave up 12 points. You can't score more than 10 points on your home field. We deserved to lose that game. Actually, nobody deserved to win that game, but Vikings are not a well-disciplined team. Lots of fun to be had. That's a good point. And, that is something, T-Bass, that I have said quite a few times, actually, that it's like, come on, you guys. Stop with the penalties. Stop with the daggone turnovers. It's ridiculous. Think Flores stays for – I certainly hope so, Mary. I hope he stays for longer than one more year. I mean, again, I would never be like, hey, we're going to try and sabotage your ability to get a head coaching gig because, that's just bad practice. But, as long as he's got this thing going on with the suing the NFL, I don't know that any owners are going to touch him. All right, Gary, I see you. I'm going to get through these chats here real quick. Shout out to Norsefius for another $10 super chat. I appreciate you, Norsefius. I very much do. And again, that flag right there is from our guy, Norsefius. Shout out George in the building. What's going on? Same old song and dance. You ain't lying. All right. I'm going to stay it right there. Let's bring Papa Gary into the building. What's going on, Gary?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Hey, first and foremost, I just want to thank you for all the content that you and my fellow brothers bring. But most importantly, I want to know straight up, how close are we to the goal for your sweet little daughter hitting her goal?
Well, I haven't counted it up, so honestly, off the top of my head, I honestly don't know. And I don't know the calculations as to how much of the matchings I'm going to get either. I know we're at least halfway there. I can say that much because I had obviously you've donated offline, and a couple other my family members have donated offline. So off the top of my head, I don't actually know the number, but I know we're copyright John Bon Jovi. Oh, we're halfway there. All right, no more karaoke for me, but we are at least halfway there.
You to finish that up, brother.
No,
that was awesome.
No, it wasn't. I appreciate the kind words, Gary, but no, it was not. There is a reason I do not do karaoke. I'm a crack one right now, and I know Mary's in the building. Here you go, Mary, and thank you, Mary, for the koozie. And you know what, Mary, our streak came to an end since you got me the towel. But in all seriousness, I need about a dozen of these before I'm ever getting up on the karaoke mic. But anyway, what's your thoughts, Gary? What's your thoughts? Now that you got the platform, I'll shut up. You go.
So, with your daughter, I wish her the best. Please keep in contact with me to make sure that we can get her there. So it's not coming out of your own pocket, just yourself, because you're going to have a huge investment just yourself. And I'm more than willing. And so is Purple Gang here to help you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Totally. So just keep me posted on those types of things, and I'll chip in when and where I can.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Do you really, I mean, to your whole point, and I'm sorry for that pregnant pause. We've talked about Mullens, we've talked about Dobbs, we've talked about, I want Hall. I want to see what Hall has. I mean, we're going into this next draft. Do we have somebody or not? But with that said, Justin, if none of them are the answer, what's your 3 top picks for draft picks for quarterback at around that 20 that you really want, brother?
Well, when we were 1-4, if we had lost to San Francisco, I would have said trade Danielle Hunter, Harrison Smith, all those guys, right?
We all were.
Most of us were. But I will say this. The guy, if we had the ability to get him, I want Drake May the most. Now, that's not going to happen at this point. Even if they lost out, they would probably be picking somewhere between like 9 and 13, and you'd have to trade like 3 or some odd first-round picks, assuming that the team at the top would even want to trade out of that spot to begin with. But I like Michael Penix out of Washington, the southpaw out of Washington. I don't love J.J. McCarthy, but I'm intrigued by J.J. McCarthy. He doesn't quite have as much arm strength as I would like. He has a little bit more ability than Kirk Cousins, but so do you and I. But jokes aside from that standpoint, I like Penix and I like McCarthy, and those two guys would be available around the 15 to 22 range, which is probably where the Vikings are going to end up. And I would be very, very content with either one of those guys, assuming we have enough of a beat on Jaron Hall to know that, hey, he doesn't have it, which is why, to your point and to what I've said, and a couple of people have said there, that's why I want to see him for the last 5 games.
Thank you.
Sometimes it is about the short term. Oh, we're close enough. We can make the playoffs. And again, I've said this a million times. That is what the Wilfs want more than anything. They just want to get into the dance. And they saw their Giants just get into the dance in 2007 and pull off 3 upsets. They upset the Packers in the NFC Championship game. They upset the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They upset the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Romo had that team 13-3 and had the number 1 seed. And I forget who they won wildcard weekend. I think it was Tampa Bay. But the point is that they've seen their hometown team twice go to the playoffs as somebody that was looked at as not a championship level team and pull off these upsets. So their mindset is just get into the dance and we got a chance. So they're going to go into it with the, hey, no, we're not giving up on this. And I'm not saying they should give up. I'm just saying, to me, you get the best of both worlds. I think Hall doesn't have the highest ceiling, because I think Josh Dobbs does have a higher ceiling, but Josh Dobbs has such a lower floor. But Nick Mullens does nothing for me. So I'm with you, and I'm with a lot of people in the chat. I want to see Jaron Hall. I want to see what he can do now that he's going to have Justin Jefferson back and still have Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. I want to see what that kid has. Because, again, I want to know, because we're not going to learn anything from him riding the bench. If we play him for 5 games and we lose all 5 games and it's apparent that he doesn't have it, okay, then you move on. But no, I'm with you. I want to see Jaron Hall. That's all I want to see. Nick Mullens, like I said, does nothing for me. I think the Josh Dobbs experiment is pretty much done. We've got it all figured out. The league's got him figured out. But no, I'm with you.
Just I would have never become a sniper.
Yeah.
if I went to tested how well I could do shooting shit downrange. So let's find out what this young buck has.
I totally agree.
We
pretty much everybody in chat does too. Yep.
They owe it to his fan base.
Mm-hmm. Well, some people would say they owe it to the fan base to do whatever they can to get in the playoffs. And I'm like, yeah, but if you're the 7th seed, you're not going out to San Francisco. I know we beat San Francisco earlier, but we had Cousins. They didn't have Williams and they didn't have Debo. They're a notch and a half above us. I don't care that we beat them on our home field earlier this year. They're a better team than we would get mollywopped by San Francisco. I think, but.
And we would, dude. And we're gonna. And if we do make it into playoffs, maybe we're gonna win one, but it's gonna be one and done again. And we're drafted at 20.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't care. I want the victories.
Yeah,
I do. I want the victories, and I want to see.
And
look at what our defense has done this year. I mean,
yeah,
we're building something. Let's put the pieces of the puzzles together, and I'm not going to say we're going to get the final piece to it all, but let's at least take a chance of picking that piece of the puzzle up off the floor and trying to somewhere to make something happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Rap says, who is that old man? That's Papa Gary, Rap. If you didn't already know, maybe you were just being sarcastic. I'm not sure, but
no, what he's talking about is I have my gray beard coming in because I have my motor deer hunt coming in.
Yeah,
Face warmth coming in while I'm out there in that super, super cold stuff. Rap,
there you go.
You're down there in the sauna.
Yeah, he's down in South Carolina. He doesn't. No. He's like, I love all that wisdom on that face. There you go, Reb. There you go. Well, Gary, since you have this life-changing platform, and by the way, anybody who didn't know, last Friday, and you can still go over to Rap's channel to watch that episode, but we also Rap did one for Gary's grandson. Tell him a little bit about your grandson and the fundraiser you guys did for him. It was traveling football or something, if I correctly. Tell us about your grandson real quick there, Tyson.
Well,
Chandler.
Well, you put me on a spot there, Dave.
Hey.
Shame on you, brother. So my grandson, he's 8 years old. He turns 9 on Christmas Day, and he was a superstar in his youth football league throughout the state. I mean, there was, games I went to, he threw for 5 and ran for 2 and caught 2, and he was pretty incredible, to be honest with you. I mean,
nice.
And I was proud as a peacock. And I'm not taking any credit for it because, it's his father that gives him his genetics, even though I got, a little bit of that genetics and played games with him. But he got invited to this tryout for the youth football team in Minnesota, and they're traveling all over the place. And I've already sent it out, Texas and Atlanta and Chicago and California. And he ended up the youngest kid on the team, the smallest kid on the team, because his dad had a late growth spurt more in high school.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, he's slotted as QB1, and he has to raise $2,500. That's the team goal, and I love this about what the team's doing. They're teaching a life lesson. Not everything is given to you, millennials. You got
Well, I'm a Gen Xer, just for the record. But yes, I hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
I'm talking to you, brother. But
I know.
They're teaching them life lessons. And so, I just so appreciate what everybody's doing, especially Rap. Rap's done pretty wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. And, Dave, you did your part and everything too. And it's just so important for me to make sure that everything and the possibility that this young man's dreams can come true, because it's the community.
Yep.
It's the community that comes together and creates heroes.
Takes a village, as they say. It takes a village. Shout out Frozen. You're right. I did say Tyson. Yeah, his grandson's name is Chandler, and I had Ty Chandler on the brain. So anyway, I apologize. But anyway, well, I'll say this. I think I heard you say that we're going to do another one, whether that's on mine or whether that's on Raps. We'll keep this going, and I agree with you so very, very much that it's it's amazing what this community has done, what it did for JJ, what it did for Rap's coworker, what it did for you, and what it's doing for me here, and for all of you guys in Purple Gang. We thank you so very, very much. So at the end of it, what's the time frame to wrap this with your grandson? When is this traveling bit going to happen?
The end of the fundraiser is December 15th.
Okay.
But I don't even care about that. I don't care about that. You know, it is what it is. You know, with everybody that's done everything that we've already done, you know, we're getting, you know, we're pretty much halfway there. And I thank everybody for that.
Absolutely.
I don't mean to say I don't care, but I just want to thank my Purple Gang community for giving me so much enjoyment, so much enjoyment of everything that's going on. And, you know, brother, you know, you, Rap, JJ, Yogi, I'm going to get a little emotional. Going through this divorce, you're my boys, man.
Hey, you guys are ours. You guys and gals, and I've said this a million times on my channel, and I know Rap and the other ones have too, is I could come on here and I could talk my talk about the Vikings, but having you guys and gals in the chats to interact with, you know, meeting you guys, you know, at SKOL Fest, which was just an absolute blast. To have met you in person, that's what it really is all about too. And Rap says in here that yes, his show tomorrow night is going to be another one. So tune in tomorrow night at 9:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central over on Purple Pocket Podcast. Rap's gonna run another one of these here for Grandpa Gary, Papa Gary's, I should say. I say Grandpa Dave, Papa Dave, Grandpa Gary, Papa Gary. We get the whole bit. But so yes, you guys tune in tomorrow night on Purple Pocket Podcast to help out Gary's grandson as well. But to finish off that point, Gary, you guys mean the world to us, every bit as much. We appreciate the love, the loyalty. You know, every time we go live, we see the names in these chats, and you know, One Bar in Lubbock gets to say the same thing. I mean, well, those guys are at a whole nother level, but at the same time, we appreciate you every bit as much as you guys appreciate us. So I want you to know that too. So it's a symbiotic thing. It's a circular thing, all for one, one for all, or something like that, right? But anyway.
Energy makes the world go round, brother.
There you go.
And one last thing.
Yeah.
SKOL Vikings.
SKOL Vikings, baby. Gary, thanks for joining. You are technically Grandpa Dave was, but you are the inaugural member to come on Purple and Gold for Days on a SKOL for Days episode. Thank you so kindly for joining me and for the loyalty. I appreciate you, brother. We'll talk soon, all right?
Thanks for your content, brother. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, so there we go. That was Papa Gary. Thank you so much for joining. Again, tune in tomorrow night on Purple Pocket Podcast for his show, doing another fundraiser for his grandson. Get him that traveling football equipment to get him going on there. We got some. I was going to get this one. Yeah, Purple Gang for life. There you go. All righty. Well, I think we're going to wrap it. I didn't keep it under an hour, but that's because I had Gary on with me. I would have got there without it. But in all seriousness, I want to say thank you so kindly as always for joining me. Programming notes tomorrow night, Purple Pocket Podcast, 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern for the Friday night wrap up with our guy Rap over on Purple Pocket Podcast. Be doing some donations for Gary's grandson on Vikings First and SKOL on Saturday. 2 old bloggers, 4:00 Central Time. Dave and Darren are going to throw down this bye-week news. I don't know if I'm going to go live Sunday or not. I think Rap and I decided we're going to take the week off, so we're not going to do Rapping for Days during the bye week. But then we start the whole thing over again. Monday for Vikings First and SKOL, the Real Forno Show, 8:15 for me on SKOL for Days. Tuesday, I think Dave and I are going to pick up Under the Lights again. We didn't have one this week because he was on vacation with his family on a cruise, so we did Rapping for Dave during that time slot. But the season ain't over. This bye week came a little later. At first, it's always good to have a later bye week, but you know, I would have preferred maybe a week or two earlier to get some rest up in there. But we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. And coming next week, it's going to be December football. Here's the thing about December football. The only thing about November football is better than that is December football. Yeah. To the late, great John Madden. All right, let me get these last chats and then we'll get up out of here. Let's see here. There you go. Thank you, Mary, for joining. Hit me up. Let me know how you doing. Appreciate you, George. Appreciate you, SKOL Mafia, Northfield. So let me get the shouts to the donators one more time here. We got Gary, we got Greg, we got Rap, Gary, and Gary again. Shout out to Northfield a couple of times as well. Appreciate you all so very, very much. We're going to get up out of here. We will let you guys get back to this exciting Thursday night football game where at the moment the Sea Chickens are up 28-20 over Dallas with 5 minutes and change left in the third quarter over on Prime Video. I cannot tell you how humbling it is, ladies and gentlemen. Really? That's a good one. No, I ain't cooking. No, I'm definitely not. Shout out SKOL Mafia with the ice tank. Thank you to Eva to Hope if you're watching this back later for that ridiculous handle. But you know what? I'm embracing it. I have learned recently that just embrace it. Don't run from it. Don't fight it. Don't take it all, whatever. Just embrace it. Don't look back, look forward, and learn from your mistakes. Make amends for them, atone for them, and try to make the best choices you can, because at the end of the day, as Kirby Puckett said on his retirement speech, enjoy life because tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And it isn't. I'm not trying to get morbid at the end because we coming up on the Christmas season. We coming up on December football. But like I said, thank you so very, very much for joining me this evening. SKOL, as always, to the next episode. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy the games, particularly that Philly-San Francisco game. I can't wait for that game. That is going to be a knockdown, drag-out, 15-round heavyweight bout. But for now, by the way, SKOL Kansas City Chiefs as well. Thank you kindly, as always, for joining me. You have a good evening. Good night.